Welcome to Complete Deelite's first DIY video project. And today we're going to learn how to make cake pops. We got so many requests since our last vlog about our cake pops, so I thought I'd show you our secrets and how it's so easy to make. Before we start, we're going to go through all the ingredients and the tools that we need. Here we have straight and angled spatula. If you don't have any of these, butter knife at home is just fine. And a regular rubber spatula. In this recipe I use 6 cupcakes just because it's what we have, but you can also use cake from a cake mix box, you know, like an 8-inch or 9-inch cake, just mix it together. Or even Sara Lee or any one of your like old cakes that you've left in the freezer, those are perfect too. And we also have cream cheese icing, which we can give you our recipe on our blog as well, because I know so many of you guys asked for that. But also ready-made cream cheese icing or buttercream icing is great as well. My favorite part are just colorful sprinkles. Valentine's is right around the corner, so I thought we'd do a Valentine's cake pop. My favorite, jumbo hearts. And then the most important ingredient, aside from the candy melts, is vegetable shortening. And I'll show you in a bit why. Lollipop sticks. I find the best type to work with are paper-based lollipop sticks as opposed to plastic ones. So here you've got some. And last but not least, we have our candy melts. We'll be using dark chocolate and white as well. First, I'm going to go over how to melt your candy melts. The most important thing when you're first starting is making friends with your microwave. So don't just shove your candy melt in there and just zap it for 2 minutes, because most likely you're going to have a terrible time and you'll probably end up burning them. So what I do is the 1 minute plus interval rule, meaning I'm going to pop it in there, close it up, put it in for 1 minute, and let that go. You're going to let the dark chocolate go for a minute and then intervals of 30 seconds. White chocolate, on the other hand, is a bit more sensitive. So you're going to want to go 1 minute and then also 20-second intervals, okay? And depending on microwave voltages, or some microwaves are stronger than others, I work on medium-high to high temperature. But again, you're going to have to make friends with your microwave oven. You're going to have to go through a few tests, so just so you know how it all works. At the end of the day, you know, I have some people do it so often they can just zap it in a minute or so and they got it perfect. So, you know, I'm sure after doing it for a few times, you'll get it down. After when you get on liquid form, which is like this, okay, this is smooth, but you're going to want to thin it out. And how we're going to thin the candy melt out is by adding vegetable shortening. And I stir it in there. And it's going to look lumpy in the beginning, and it may even look like it's not going to melt in. But not to worry, you just keep working that in, and you're going to feel it. And I don't know if you can see already, but you're going to feel slowly that it's getting thinner and thinner. And my trick to figure out how thin is thin enough is if it starts to make little ripple waves, like if it starts to jump out a little bit when I'm doing this. You see that? Once it starts to move quite easily, probably could use just a bit more vegetable shortening. So I'm just going to go ahead. Make sure every time when you're dipping into the candy melts, you wipe it off immediately. Then you're not using like 10 different spatulas. So you got to wipe off, then you got a clean blade. Okay, this is about a minute. What you're going to do is you're going to mix that in. It looks about right. But I'll probably throw it in for about 10 more seconds. Again, it depends on the quantity of chocolate melts that you're using. So sometimes you may need more interval like timing, like 30 seconds or 20 seconds, but you gotta go by feel. That was pretty much like 80–90% done, so that's why I said 10 seconds. There you go. Okay, you can see I'm getting no wave like reaction to this. So I'm gonna add our vegetable shortening. Probably a bit more just to start off with. Scoop right in there. Stir it in there. what I'm doing is I'm peeling our vanilla cupcakes, 6 cupcakes. And you're gonna wanna break it up, basically. Here's the part that's also just as very, very important, is how much icing I add to my cake mix. You wanna add just enough so that your cake sticks together. As soon as you see that happening, then stop. Don't add any more icing, okay? Because this makes or breaks your cake pop. So I'm just gonna go a little bit at a time. Just mix it in there. And you can see it starting to stick together. So at this point, I'm gonna work it with my hands. All stuck together. Turn it around, making sure that it's got it. There you go. Prepared with parchment paper. So it's just a simple cookie sheet with parchment paper. Okay? What you're going to do is you're going to roll it up into balls. The size I say is about 1 inch. Or if you guys have ever made beef balls, this is the size of it. There you go. Our cake balls all made. I've made 10 here. 6 cupcakes can actually make 24 pieces, 2 dozen. Okay? Now, what we're going to do is we have our candy melt, which we've already prepared. And what we're going to do is I'm actually just going to take the stick and dip some in here. So it's basically like the glue. Stick it in there. For about 5 minutes. Usually no more than about 5 minutes because you don't want it to be so cold that when you end up having to dip it back in the candy melt, it's just going to harden right away. So you're just going to chill it just for a little bit. Alright, so it's about ready. How you know it's ready is that the chocolate on here, it's like just hardening, yeah? What I did forget to mention is you're going to need a styrofoam, a piece of styrofoam. What I've done is I've taken lollipop and just kind of poke some holes in there. And that's going to help you dry off your cake pops. I'm going to take one. Okay? Always, if it looks a bit flat, you can always reshape it up. That's not a problem, you know? And I'm just going to twirl it in there. Guide it in with my spatula. Make sure everything's covered. Lift it off. I do a little spin. Ta-da! Twirl it. I love these sprinkles. It's my favorite part. Add. Good part. See? It's all about that shortening. It makes it so much easier. Just swing that in there. There we go. Drizzles. All around. It's been about 10 minutes and they're ready. Wow. Ta-da! Cake pop segment in our DIY video. Happy Valentine's Day! Bye!